Back, everybody. Episode 10 of Youngzers. We're now in the double digits. We're moving up in the world, so that's pretty exciting. Got a loaded slate for you guys today. Of course, this is a Saturday pod, so we're going to talk about the Thursday night football game presented by Jeff Bezos and Amazon Prime. Steelers Browns. So also excited to have Dan back.
Yeah.
He missed him last week. Big addition. So Dan, welcome back.
It's good to be back. All I'm saying is don't try to move a side by side fridge by yourself from your kitchen to your basement and take it outside and taking doors off, taking door jams off, taking doors off the fridge and hinges off the fridge. It was a nightmare, guys. And on top of that, I had to change a light out front on the porch. So I was, let's just say, the honeydew list was pretty long, and I just couldn't get it done in time. I was crunched for time, and you think you have all the time in the world, and you don't. So I apologize about that. I am back, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get into it.
The good news is this is a Leonard Skinner podcast tonight. A little Saturday night special fucking going on right now. I love it. I love it.
Roberts, what's new this week? I see you got the Dwayne The Rock Johnson turtleneck and chain on right now.
Nothing much, boys. Just got back from a nice 2-day work trip. Just vibing.
Where were you at? Where was the trip to?
Upstate New York.
Okay.
Did you raise any hell up there, or what was going on?
Cornfields, and that's about it.
Oh, boy. All right, so let's get right into it. I feel like this episode's be the same song and dance that we had last week. Andrew's already pointed to the sign. I don't know if you guys can see it. The background didn't change. Fire Matt Canada. Steelers drop one to the Browns, 29-17. A lot of shades of last week's game. Offense looked stagnant. Defense was out there way too long. They just looked absolutely dog-tired. First thoughts, Dan, I'm going to give them to you because we didn't get your 2 cents last week.
For my first thoughts, it's like you said, it's the same song and dance all the time. I mean, you go another first quarter without scoring a touchdown. It's ridiculous. When's the last time they did it? Like 20 was it last year, like week 7, something like that? It's ridiculous. It's stagnant. But here's my take on it. And Andrew's pointing at the fire Matt Canada. I don't think it's technically Matt Canada's fault. I think he was told by Mike Tomlin, and he's handcuffed by Mike Tomlin. Hey, don't lose us this game. Don't lose us any games. Don't go in the middle of the field because that's where the interceptions happen. A lot of interceptions happen because you don't have the boundaries of the sidelines to throw them back shoulder throws and stuff like that. Run out of bounds. Keep the ball safe on the offensive side, let the defense take care of it. But you can see that the defense is getting tired because the offense can't chunk out some yards or chunk out some time and keep the defense off the field. I think, like I said, deep down, Mike Tomlin told Matt Canada, don't lose us any games. So he's afraid. And now you have the entire city of Pittsburgh after Matt Canada. It's a witch hunt because he's handcuffing Mitch Trubisky. That's my feel on it. It might not be, everybody's opinion, but if you just look at it, Mike Tomlin is not going to save himself from Mike Tomlin. Let's just say that. He's going to do he's not going to take blame for it. So there's your scapegoat with Matt Canada, but ultimately I feel like it's Mike Tomlin saying, "Don't lose us the game."
I'm not getting down with that one. I mean, the extent that I'll blame Tomlin is he hired Matt Canada, which that's as far as I go. But I think Matt Canada is just an inept offensive coordinator. He's a college level coordinator, nothing more. He can't adapt to the pros. It's a vanilla offense. It's predictable and it sucks. And spoiler alert, Jag of the week, 2nd week in a row. This bald bozo, Matt Canada, he got to go. I mean, I think he's just inept. He doesn't have it to be an NFL coordinator.
You can say that, but why was he hired then? On what credentials? On what successes?
That's the mystery.
Okay, so then it's Mike Tomlin's fault.
Well,
you can't sit there and say that it's not. You know what I mean? You can't blame just Matt Canada.
I said he's the one that hired Matt Canada, so that's the extent of the blame I'll give him. But I don't think. I don't think he's telling him how to run the offense. I just think Matt Canada sucks. I think that's just where it's at. I mean, Tomlin hired him. He's responsible for that. Don't get me wrong. But I just think Matt Canada is just totally inept and can't do anything.
Yeah, I agree. And also, going on Dan's point, even if you're letting the head coach micromanage you like that, at the NFL level, like get Matt Canada out there, even if out of there, even if he's getting micromanaged. If you're at the NFL level and you're an offensive coordinator, have some stick and berries. Call your own plays. I'm doubling down from last week. Mitch Trubisky, no twig and berries. You know who are adding to the list? Matt Canada, no twig or berries. I'm adding him to the list.
I just for one point there is me and Ryan, we both said it before. You look at the no huddle offense. You look at the when it's Mitch calling his, saying what he wants to do. You throw the ball down the field and look what you have some success. I don't know. I don't see there's a lot of problems. There is a ton of problems in that locker room, and they need fixed. And spoiler alert, it ain't gonna get any easier past the Jets. So.
Oh no, the way you might drop it to the Jets too. That's next week, right? Yeah.
Your problems start at the top, and with coaching, it's your head coach, and your head coach. You guys can sit here and tell me Keith Butler was calling defenses in the past. He wasn't. It's Mike Tomlin. So you can't sit there and say that he's not micromanaging somebody. So if your boss is micromanaging you and you don't have it's your second year on the job and you don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback to bail you out now, you're going to take all the blame. I would not take all the blame if I'm Matt Canada. I would say I'm handcuffed because he doesn't want me to lose games because this offense sucks. Let's just get down to brass tacks about it.
You won't be able to say that. You'll be fired, and people think, okay,
exactly. But then you'll get fired if you go above him and you want to get your twigs and berries swinging. You're going to get fired then because you're going against what your head coach told you to do.
Well, that's lose then because if your offense sucks all year, you're going to be out of there anyway. So might as well you're fighting for your job at that point.
So long story short, either way, Matt Canada's a loser. That's what it comes down to. He ain't winning this.
All I'm saying is, it's you hear it on the national level all the time. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. He has 3 playoff wins in 12 years. Ever since they lost that Super Bowl to Green Bay, they have been shit. Sorry, they have been. Yeah. Pardon my French, but that's what it comes down to. They have not been a very good team.
I think we're all right there.
What's that?
I said we don't have an elementary audience on the demographic.
It's Saturday night special.
But that's my thing. Look back to the years with Ben, Bell, and Brown, underachieved.
Yeah,
you can blame it on this. You can blame it on that. Oh well, Lev Bell got hurt. AB was off his rocker there. When all 3 of them dudes were studs on the offensive side of the ball. They underachieved, and I'm sorry, it has to go on Mike Tomlin. Now, granted, we've talked before on other pods that when he went 8-1 or whatever with Duck Hodges, I understand that you could praise him all you want, but I think it comes down to Mike Tomlin is handcuffing the wrong people.
So you think Tomlin should be on the hot seat then?
He should be. Why shouldn't he? If it's anybody else, in the league, I understand that's not how the Steelers do it. I understand that, but I just feel like his seat should be warm. Let's go with that.
I don't think this year it should be warm. I mean, going into the year, it was pretty evident it was going to be a transition year with Trubisky at quarterback. If they can't, the offensive side of the ball, they don't have a lot of money in because it's a very young group across the board. Now, if Kenny Pickett starts next year or, they're fully healthy next year and they're still underachieving with the guy that they took in the first round because that was a big swing to taking a quarterback at 20 when you could have addressed some other positions. There was a lot of talent on the board there. Then the seat, I think, starts to get hot. All right, you have the defense there. You have your offensive pieces. If you can't produce with that, then let the seat get a little. The seat's going to be, you're at Taco Bell. You house a couple 12 packs. Later that night, you know what I'm talking about. That's the kind of hot seat Mike Tomlin's going to be on at that point. 100%.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Roberts. Sorry.
I'm hearing a lot of buzz around a person that, coached Kenny Pickett last year and Mark Whipple coming back. If Matt Canada leaves or gets fired, you know what I mean? Like, he's been there, Coach Kenny. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, people want to bring him home, but
yeah, I mean, Ben's had his pick of offensive coordinators in the past. You're gonna invest that in a quarterback. You you make them as comfortable as possible. So I could see it, but the only thing I want to see is Matt Canada gone. A, number one, and B, looking at the offensive side of the ball. We were roasting Dan Moore in anticipation of Myles Garrett matchup. He played well. The offensive line, it's not the line. The line did its job. It's the play calling. That's what it's coming down to. And the offense can't stay on the field. So by the end of the game, the defense is gassed. They can't stop the run. It's just a trickle-down effect. And it starts with the play calling and Matt Canada. He's the
drives Mike Tomlin.
All problems.
Good.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say there's 4 drives. I looked 4 drives under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Although I do agree with Dan. It's no playground schoolgirl secret that the Steelers have been bad in the playoffs the past 10 years. So, why, as the Steelers organization, are we settling for that, mediocrity? It's going to get pretty old, I think, in the next couple years. And like Andrew said, Tomlin did buy him probably maybe 3-4 more years maybe by drafting Kenny Pickett. How many years do you think they'd give him? Maybe I'd say this year, and then next year would probably be the feeling out season.
Yeah,
the year after that, if he doesn't grow at all, I think that's when Tomlin, hey, you missed on your guy. You've never had to select your guy before, and you failed right off the bat. So
What was their last playoff win? Was it against the Bengals where they shouldn't have won?
Yes. Because Joey Porter went out there and got punched by Pac-Man Jones. Yeah, that's the last one. Whenever Vontez Perfect hit AB over the middle.
They punched Peasy in Pittsburgh. Yeah. And then Vontez Perfect just went Jeffrey Dahmer or something on, AB just had that killer instinct. That's the only reason they won that game. They should have lost that game.
Yes. They showed before the game on Thursday, they were showing Tomlin's overall record. And then they showed his playoff record. I think it was 8-9.
Yeah.
With two Super Bowl runs in the late 2000s. That's 7 games right there. So it's probably one playoff win.
Yeah, that's all.
It's sad. I'm sorry. And to your point, Mach, you said they got this defense. I don't know if that defense is all that it's cracked up to be, honestly.
Without it's not, that's for sure.
That's a problem. You know what I mean? And then you have, I'm not going to get into that. Never mind. But you don't draft a offensive lineman since 2012. That's the last time they drafted one in the first 2 rounds. Sorry, David DeCastro. Okay, that's your last one you took in the first 2 rounds. Your offensive line isn't playing terrible, like you said. Play calling, quarterback play, and I'm even going to take a shot at Najee here. You can see he's not trusting his linemen, and they're making the holes. He's just bouncing them. He's prematurely bouncing them. So that's going to piss off offensive linemen. Let me tell you, we make you the hole, and you're not going to hit the hole, and you just want to bounce it because you don't know if it's going to be there. You're not running hard. That's going to piss some guys off. But
Najee's defense, you can't really blame him either.
I understand that. That's fine. But when in the flow of the game, if the hole's there, you gotta hit the hole.
Yeah. So
I'm going to kind of contradict myself, but your first couple drives, you already have it picked out what plays you're going to run, your first 2 drives. So everything's scripted already. Why are they not scoring in the first quarter? That is huge. You're down. Let's see here. Yeah, they were down 7-0 after the first quarter. You're playing from behind, and then if you're playing from behind and you're handcuffing your offensive coordinator who's handcuffing your quarterback, it's not going to turn out well. It's just not going to.
You listen to the player interviews, they're all saying the same thing. It's the play calling. You got to trust. You throw it deep. George Pickens, unreal catch Thursday night. Absolutely unreal. You got to trust your team. That's just showing if you're conservative play calling and rink dink, blah, 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 blah. You don't trust your offense at all. That's what it's coming down to. You don't trust your quarterback. You don't trust your receivers to make the plays. There's no trust there.
Would you say he's living in his fears?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm sorry. I still feel like it's Mike Tomlin. I'm sorry. I'll leave it at that.
At the end of the day, you can blame the coordinators, but you change coordinators, it's the same thing because what was the last guy's name? The guy stunk. Absolutely stunk. What was his name? Randy Fichtner.
Yeah.
Same shit. It's just changing who's there, but it's the same damn thing.
Yeah. They dress on an old whore. You know what I mean?
Does that mean it's the head coach's problem then? If it's the same?
Yeah.
That is
ultimately it has to be because he's the one who hires them. You know what I mean? Yep. I think they need to get Weidel involved in it because he's the football side of it. Omar Khan does all the the money and the contracts and stuff. He still has an eye for the football side because he was under what the hell's his name?
Colbert. Kevin Colbert.
Yeah, he was under Kevin Colbert for years, so he knows what he's doing. But they brought that Weidel in for the reason to evaluate talent and stuff like that, and coaches and stuff. So I think he needs to say something.
I mean, if you want to bring somebody in to evaluate it, hire me, throw me a couple million. I'll tell you Matt Canada blows, and I'll get out of your hair. I can evaluate it. I can evaluate it from my living room. The guy sucks. I don't care. What they did to Todd Haley outside Tequila Cowboy was despicable. But Matt Canada, I mean, he's on the short list. The people of Pittsburgh, they're not going to take too kindly to him.
You might see him next weekend.
Yeah, they see that chrome dome walking out. He might get popped by somebody. He got to watch out because if there's one thing Youngzers hate, it's an inept offensive coordinator. I don't know.
Yeah. But why hire these guys then if you're just going to step all over them and not actually use their talents or what you hired them for,
Us men, it looks like a good hiring.
What's the point? Why don't these previous coordinators come out and say something? Because obviously you haven't heard anything,
That's part of the culture.
Or you get blacklisted then.
Talk shit on someone, you're blacklisted.
Especially with someone like Mike Tomlin, and he's like, hey, you don't want this guy, if he's gonna go try to get another job somewhere else. I just think it's going to be some dark times, and it really, really sucks because as Pittsburghers, we don't follow the Buccos, right? We can't stand watching a Buccos game because it takes 8 hours and they suck. Where do you think the Steelers are headed?
Oh, yeah, I'm still watching football over a baseball thrown every 2 minutes.
I understand that, but your liver is going to be taking a hit for that, and you're going
The thing is, the Steelers up to this point have always had exciting players to watch. At least you go in each week thinking they have a chance for the most part. Except for these next couple weeks, like Buffalo. Who else is there?
Tampa.
But now it's your
Philly.
Different reason though. It's like a train wreck. You just can't wait to see how they screw up on offense.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's sick.
It's self-hate, honestly. I watch the Pirates sometimes just because I hate myself that much, and I just want to put myself through absolute hell.
Yeah, see, that's it. Jag of the week.
Maria, you can't be snap calling during a freaking podcast.
I don't know. I had a conversation today with the boss. I'm not trying to get ahead of ourselves, but you have maybe a couple more years of Sidney Crosby and Malkin. You lost Big Ben. Christ, you got in the Pirates side. You know what I mean? It's
Cruz.
It's going to be mediocrity here for. I hate to say it. You know what I mean?
We're entering a Bubby Brister era.
It's going to be dark times through the whole city of Pittsburgh, and it's kind of sad because I grew up from 2005 knowing Steelers success, knowing Penguin success after Crosby was in the league a couple years. But it was exciting.
Baseball team, that's what.
but that's the thing. We're heading for dark times, and with the city of Pittsburgh. Yeah. With the way they have the Steelers, so I'll bring it back to the Steelers here. The way they have their defense right now, they're only going to be good for a few years. So you kind of think of it. You think of it like the Buccos. Well, they got all these positional players, but they don't have any pitching coming up through the system to complement that. We don't have an offense to complement our defense right now, and I don't care what anybody says. All defense wins championships. It is a offense heavy league now. You know what I mean? It's a pass-heavy league. You see all these penalties blown on the defense, for pass interference and hands to the face and this and that. They want higher scoring because it's exciting. That's what sells. We don't have that.
And I looked today. Right now, if the season ended today, the Steelers would get the 8th pick. You know what I mean? And while we were talking about the defense, I'm thinking a lot of people are giving the offense a lot of hate, which they, you know what I mean, they deserve. But we haven't really touched this. The secondary besides Minka has been, you know what I mean, they haven't been that good at all.
They can't draft cornerbacks. That's the problem.
They got like Andrew said last week. There is no excuse for Aguilar to get Moshy right there with 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
would you say would you say the Steelers' downfall? That they lost the Super Bowl in 2012.
Yes.
A couple years after, it started to really go downhill. Would you agree?
Yeah.
It's no coincidence. I just did a little deep dive.
No.
2014, the Pittsburgh Power folded. I'm connecting the dots here. That might have taken the mojo, a little Austin Powers style. City of Pittsburgh lost their mojo when the Pittsburgh Power went away. I'm sticking.
The Maulers back up.
Yeah.
They do.
Does that mean we're coming back?
No. Mauler stink. Instead of the Power, but.
That's the thing, though. Think back to when they lost to Green Bay.
Yeah.
If you look at the final score, it doesn't tell what was played. It was a very tight game there for a little while. But you lose the Rodgers and Green Bay, and then you become kind of just mediocre for a couple years, and then you get back to the playoffs. But you don't do anything in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if what's that?
You lost
Tim Tebow. Yeah, in overtime at Denver. I don't want to keep ragging on Mike Tomlin, but he's got to start showing results. I'll give him 2 years. Like, realistically, if he's any other coach on any other organization and you're not showing results like that, you're getting the axe. But that's not the Steeler way, and I understand that. Just like what he's doing with, how he's handling, the quarterback situation. Well, he's old school. He doesn't want to start a first-round draft pick rookie. Understandable. I get that. But show me results. And I don't mean in just a regular season. Go win a wild card game. Go win a divisional game. Go back to the Super Bowl.
Get to the conference championship at least.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll play in the February, please.
The side note to that Super Bowl loss, that was on Rashard Mendenhall. I don't forget that. And I know he's pretty active on Twitter. He's always chirping stuff. People don't forget Rashard. You fumbled. That was on you.
Should we try to get somehow,
if you somehow, by the grace of God, see this segment somehow, I don't forget that, Rashard. And the city doesn't. You can lie your way through Twitter. You can pretend it never happened, but
you think he threw on purpose?
Huh?
You think he threw on purpose?
No.
Pete Rose style.
Just fumbled all the time. Yeah, people don't forget. It's like
back to that point. The Steelers used to draft offensive linemen and take mediocre running backs and make them great. Now you have a great running back who's kind of mediocre. Or is that just me?
No, I think he's a solid running back.
He's a stud, but if he was behind a stud line,
it'd be phenomenal.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a damn shame.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Dan's damn shame of the week, the Steelers offensive line.
I think we do go back to that point where once these guys are in their prime, it's going to be a waste because not everything's aligned at the same time.
No.
To have a contending team, you have to have like all phases of the game well in line, and I don't see even the defense not all aligned, the offense not all aligned, special teams for sure. Percy,
oh jeez,
candy leg, yeah.
No.
I mean,
go ahead. No, they don't. They're not consistent in every aspect of the game, and that's what it comes down to. And if your team's not prepared and they're inconsistent, I gotta agree with Dan here. It's on the head coach.
Yeah. One team that you look at right now in the NFL that you want to compare yourself to, let's say the Bills.
Yeah.
They are dominant in every phase of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. Everything's aligned for them. I mean, if you ask me right now, September 24th, 2022 at 8:53 p.m., they're a lock for the Super Bowl. They can only beat themselves, you know what I mean?
Big news,
look at the Steelers.
Big injuries in the secondary. Micah Hyde's getting season-ending surgery.
Yeah, but still, I think, even with that offense, it can help.
They're going to outscore everybody.
Exactly. But compare Buffalo to the Steelers and look how far off they are. And then for the Steelers to get there, like Ryan said, it's going to be almost a waste, for Najee, TJ Watt. Cam's getting old. Cam's maybe got 2 more solid years. That's it. He ain't going to ever see a Super Bowl. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say this to end it. If this city wants to get a reset on the Steelers and really bring it back together, I'm going to have to reach out to KDKA for one night only. One night only. I want it to be a primetime game, so it might not be KDK, but they can facilitate it. You put me and Edmund Nelson up in that booth with a platter of ribs, and by God, this city and the Steelers will come back together and restore to the former glory. I bring it up every episode, but it's true. Edmund Nelson leaves the booth. The Steelers lose their mode. There's a variety of factors, but you can't mess with that. I tweet that every day. It's game day, and there's Edmund Nelson with that platter of ribs. Those are the Steelers I know.
And do you think, going on those points, that this current Steelers organization, that they know how to go through a rebuilding phase?
No,
because I don't see the signs of it at all.
No.
We still have our aging veterans, like Dan said, that are never going to see a Super Bowl, so why keep them?
Yeah.
And then, we've never rebuilt under Tomlin. It's always been win now. We have a great quarterback, great line, great defense.
If they wanted to do a rebuild this past year, they would have taken an offensive lineman, or they wouldn't have taken a quarterback first round. I shouldn't say O-line. They could have taken somebody there. You bring in Trubisky, because this year's quarterback class was weak. You had Desmond, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, really, Matt Corral, Sam Howell. Look at next year what you have for quarterbacks: C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis, Anthony Richards. That draft.
Sean Clifford.
No.
I'm a Penn State fan. That's
you would have a lot more talent to pick from next year and probably a higher pick. Would you rather have a C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, or Kenny Pickett? Would you rather have those guys behind a better offensive line, or what's going on now? I think they botched it. If you want to rebuild, you're like you said, they're toiling around the 8-8 mark. It's just purgatory. You're going to stay there. You're not going to get better.
No. It's one of the hardest things to do in a salary cap league. Okay, it's so tough to do, to keep a solid team. Mm-hmm. In your offensive line takes up a huge chunk of salary, to get a good offensive line, and it's tough to. And like I've said in the past, it's a slow cooker to build an offensive line, either through the draft or trades, free agency, what have you. They got to gel together. I think, like you said, Ryan, they always had Ben, so it was always win now. Tomlin, he walked into that. A lot of people say it was Cowher's team, but I won't hear that. Mike was coaching, 2 years. So my thing is, he walked into a Hall of Fame quarterback and never had to worry about that. Now we're seeing him kind of struggle with that. You're seeing a different aspect, a different coach, a different level of coaching coming out, and I think he's fumbling it.
Yeah, and you like you said, it's hard in the salary cap era to do that. So you have to hit in the draft. Yeah. And last year, I hate saying this because I'm a big Penn State guy, obviously. That Pat Freiermuth pick, I think, is turning into a whiff. Not because he's not performing. He's a great player. Yeah. But if you take Creed Humphrey there, like Kansas City took him in the second round, you're set at center, and then you don't have to take Kendrick Green. That's a waste of a third round pick. He's not even dressing on game days.
No.
That's going to be right up there, top 3 whiffs. You have Jarvis Jones, you have Kendrick Green, Artie Burns. And I don't know if you remember Senquez Golston. He never played a snap for them. Second round pick, always got hurt in training camp. That's just wasted draft capital. That's setting your organization back when you whiff like that. Because then the next year you have to make up for it. You may have to spend money you don't want to in free agency to bring somebody in. When you whiff on a first, second, third round pick, that sets your organization back big time. Unless you find a stud in the later rounds. But lately the Steelers, you haven't found those Brett Kiesel type guys. You found solid rotational guys, which is great, but you haven't found those studs. So that's not you're digging yourself a deeper hole every time you whiff on a pick like that.
It's also go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
I would say also not to mention, it's not a whiff on Freiermuth. It's just a third round pick. That's a pretty high pick. So last game on Thursday, he didn't get a target till the fourth quarter. Why not pick a lineman where he's on the field every down on offense? And you think with that third round pick that it's that tight end that you're trying to build for your future team. You think you're going to try to get him some looks in more of a rebuilding year and get him
Yeah, if you're investing a second round pick, you better be using them.
Especially in the red zone. I mean, he should be a red zone target.
Yeah.
But, he had 41 yards. I mean,
he should. Time.
Yeah, he should be your Heath Miller. He should be your safety blanket. He should be your there's Muth. Boom.
No, it's just underutilizing. First, you make the wrong pick, arguably. You make the wrong pick. You still have a solid player, and then you don't utilize them. So it's a double whammy of what are you doing?
And to your point, Mott's, you're not going to find those studs in the later round on the offensive line. You're just not going to. You're going to find them diamonds that are rough at receiver, a deeper position, receiver, some running backs, defensive linemen, but you're not going to find a solid offensive lineman in the 5th, 6th, 7th round.
I mean, you'll have they drafted, Kelvin Beachum a few years ago, 6th, 7th round pick. He turned he's still playing in the NFL. He was a solid player. He was a solid tackle. But like you said, those guys don't really come around too often. Or, you see, honestly, you probably see a couple times. You'll see more undrafted guys there.
Yes,
like a John LeGlue, a J.C. Hassenauer. Those guys, and they're the ones. Like Hassenauer, he's the one dressing over Kendrick Green, who should have never even been playing center.
No,
it's not a good time.
Go ahead, Roberts.
The prime example right now of you look at a horrible last couple years in the draft is the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh,
they just. It's I'm not even going to go on the Henry Ruggs situation.
That's easy pickings.
You know what I mean? I'm not even. But
no, Damon Arnett.
You lose. What is it? 7 of the last 11 first and second round picks traded or
Clyland, Alex Leatherwood, who they took last year, they cut.
Cut.
What do you expect when you have an owner who cuts his own hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be drafted.
You got to figure it out.
Guys,
come draft day.
Come on.
But that's all I have on the Steelers.
Yeah.
Jets coming up.
I just think they're drafting in the wrong places and they're investing picks in the wrong places. We can draft receivers all we want, but when you look at the final graph of where these passes are being thrown, in the middle just has nothing in it. What's the point of having one of the so-called, what we're saying being the year, one of the best receiving rooms?
Yeah.
Whenever you're limiting them to 20% of the field.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassment, honestly.
Bring back Ray McLeod.
Yeah.
We're gonna run a couple more screens for good old Ray. That's what it was.
Just draft up front and just get a good line. We saw with the Browns. They beat us with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
They just killed us with Chubb and Chunt. They hit us with Chunt.
But that's the thing. Chubb's a solid back, right?
Oh, yeah.
Would you take Chubb or Najee?
Chubb?
To build your team around.
Take Nick Chubb. Yeah.
You take Nick Chubb, okay. In front of a solid line.
Yeah.
Imagine what Najee could do in front of a solid line. You know what I mean? I'm a big Nick Chubb fan. I really am. I hate Cleveland. I despise Cleveland. Nick Chubb, he's a stud.
Yeah.
I still think Najee needs to grow a little bit, though. He missed a few, like Dan said, he missed a few holes. I think that is part of what we were saying earlier, too, though, that we're used to those guys like DeCastro, Villanueva, Pouncey on the line, that those veteran guys, they have that cohesion. The running backs trust them. Yeah. I think we just got to give it time, and once we get the guys in the right places, hopefully Najee's still around. Is
that going to be 5 years from now?
Yeah. Get Villanueva as a double veteran too. So
yeah,
in mind. If you have an Army Ranger at left tackle, good luck getting. Good luck.
That dude can do things with his bare hands. Yeah. I don't know if I told you guys. He actually had his child the same day I had my son Owen. He was down at the same hospital and stuff, same time and everything.
Was there a potential kid swap?
250 meters, there might be a little mix-up at the hospital.
Was there a baby mix-up?
We no. Owen looks just exactly like me. He's my twin, so no. But I walked out and I'm like, holy.
But
wow.
He is a little afraid of the wind, though. Correct? I mean, the trees are talking.
Could be, possibly.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on that as the years go on. If he turns in to a 7'5" tackle, we're gonna have to start some red flags.
I'll have to ask some questions to McGee.
Yeah. So McGee Hospital, in a couple years, you may be on the hot seat.
Jags of the year.
Jags of the decade.
Yeah.
Alejandro Villanueva shows up to your house with a kid with just a perfect mustache like you.
He said he wants some Copenhagen wintergreen. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know, Big Al. I'm sorry.
My son keeps making fun of a guy named Rio. I don't know.
That's all I got on the Steelers. Just an embarrassment. They got the Jets next week, so hopes are mid, honestly. I feel like it's a game that they could lose, and they could honestly go on a big losing streak. So my hopes are in the basement. So Joe Flacco's got a veteran ball. People forget that he's got a veteran ball. So
yeah, I mean, go ahead, Ron.
I'm gonna be honest. The Jets are the Jets. They're in a rebuilding. They look like they're doing something right, but I'm gonna be honest. The early line I saw is Steelers -2.5. I'm personally gonna be taking the Steelers -2.5.
I wouldn't touch it.
But we also got to recall to last week's episode where we have everybody in the call hating on the Green Bay Packers.
I wasn't hating on it. I was just saying the Bears are hungry.
Justin Fields was in the end zone. That's bullshit.
The Bears are the Bears.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Jets are the Jets. Steelers -2.5.
Hey.
Everybody take it.
Everyone says the Browns are the Browns, and look what they did to our Steelers. You know what I mean? It's any given Sunday. That's why they play every game. Or Thursday or Monday.
Same Madden. We ain't simming. Yeah.
Yeah. We ain't messing with the sliders, Rio. Playing on rookie.
All right. Is that everything on the Steelers? We get all of our demons?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. What are we moving on to? Pitt?
Quick episode in college football. Couple cupcakes this week.
Yeah.
Pitt played Rhode Island today. 45-24. A lot of points given up though to a FBS team. FCS. Sorry, that's not.
Yeah.
Didn't look good.
Does he look good?
Yeah, 179 yards, 4 touchdowns, but
20 touches. Yeah.
What's the word on Bartholomew?
His shoulder. He went out with a shoulder. I haven't seen anything on social media, but I haven't been looking at my phone. So it's a big loss if he loses him. They didn't have any defensive line in there today, besides Cansey, Baldonado, Deslin. Who else am I missing? John Morgan played today, but John Morgan he gives it 110 every week. But
well, it was Rhode Island though. No one.
Yeah.
No one wants to go to the Rhode Island game. I mean, you look at your schedule, unless it's basketball season, which Rhode Island puts together some decent teams certain years, but you see them on football, you're skipping that week, you're heading to the pumpkin patch, you're doing anything but.
That's when you schedule the fall photo shoot with your significant other. You don't care about missing that game.
Carefully.
I just I don't know. I looked today. The ACC did not look good this week.
No.
Miami lost to Middle Tennessee, which hurts because we also say that's Pitt's biggest game at the end of the year. Syracuse won a squeaker, which is good, but that's Pitt's biggest game the rest of the year.
3/4 of the Youngzers are going to be down at Acrisure next Saturday.
Yep, we'll be at the ASS Acrisure Stadium, buddy.
We're good. The Yellow Jackets. I heard Calvin Johnson was playing, so that's why I got tickets.
Oh, a little Georgia Tech, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I just got a good one for Random Athlete of the Week. Oh, perfect. A little Georgia Tech action. Love it.
But that's about it. I mean, we got Georgia Tech next week. Boys will be down there. Boys will probably be buzzing. You know me, always buzzing.
The boys will be buzzing. That is.
The early line hasn't came out. I mean,
we'll
it's
get live.
Still Saturday. I might go. We might have a group Instagram here. Might have to be joined by Dan maybe, but
I'll pop in.
That's
fine.
We'll patch you in.
That's fine.
That's Keaton Slovis came back today.
But no touchdown passes though against the FCS. That's kind of tough.
Frank Cignetti's offense: run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
And they did.
And they're going to.
I mean, I feel like they didn't want to do anything too crazy playing against Rhode Island. So
no.
It was
especially because like Pitt's track record with teams like that. Yeah, you bury them and you run the clock out. And I'm not gonna gloat about it. I'm just gonna say leave it at that. That's what it was. They played a cupcake. That's fine.
4 weeks in and I haven't cheered for a game yet. So that's.
I'm excited for next Saturday. We were at the North Carolina game last year. It's a little date afternoon. The gals are coming down with us. I don't know if they know what's in store for the Youngzers being unleashed in Acrisure. So
Last
might be a little eye opening for them.
last year was an experience for me last year, as the boys know.
You were out of line. You were out.
I was not out of line.
It's not the old woman in the back of the head.
Whoa.
That's assault.
He was dancing the Mo Bamba. It's fine.
That's fine.
And I dumped a full draft Bud Light on her head. So
That's terrible. That's a waste of $15. That's just stupidity on your part.
And I also had a cup unicorn of like 12 on my head. So that's where I was at.
He was an absolute menace.
You're the problem. You know that, Ryan?
No, I have a
You're
bone
the
to pick.
problem.
I have a bone to pick. I see this on social media all the time. Where in Heinz Field do you see a $8 beer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
You
yeah.
sent that in
Yeah.
the screenshot. Where in any stadium, PNC, Heinz,
Console,
You know what I
no,
mean?
Console, PPG. Yeah.
any of them?
Yeah, I think the cheapest beer I saw one time was a $12 beer. Is an icy light, but it was only a 16-ounce pounder, not the 24-ounce pounder. It was
They
$12.
switched to this year was 16 at every
At the
stadium
Buckeyes
in
games.
Pittsburgh.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's about it, man.
I had
Was
to,
my
I,
best.
took a, I took a stand against the Buccos last night. I am happy to say, I told Dan we went down to Voodoo Brewery in New Ken, and they have some, the beers they make, the mixed drinks. I'm looking at the mixed drinks, and what do I see behind the counter? Wiggle whiskey, recently bought by Bob Nutting.
Yeah.
We're taking that one right off the list. I'm not supporting that hillbilly millionaire with another cent this year. No.
Come from the guy who used to go to Seven Springs all the time. All right, bud.
Yep, that is true.
He sold it.
I don't know.
Sold
anything.
He did
Did he sell-
now.
Yeah, he sold it.
He didn't sell it when your brother was going up there, having a good time.
I wasn't spending money though.
Crazy.
I was visiting.
All right.
You're lying in his pockets.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
lying in what?
Huh?
You're lying through your teeth.
You're lying in Jalapeno Hannah's purse.
They're trying to take that off her.
I was up
Yeah.
there for summers.
All right.
I was. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The girlfriend's family has a.
That's
They have the house up there. Yeah.
that's fine. I understand.
Ryan was the verbally assaulting golf course employees a couple months ago up at Seven Springs.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
Hidden
they're-
Valley now.
I was sitting by the door and they told me like, oh, you can't sit there because the door will bust or something. They thought that I was sitting in literally a plastic chair, and they were like opening the door, not even the whole way. And they're like, oh, that if this door hits the chair, the glass is gonna break. I was like, no, it's not. It's like,
Right.
That's the difference between Brian Hayes getting re-signed for 8 years or not.
Lady's saying it. Ron's like, what? The door breaks. You have to cut Brian Reynolds. Just giving her the business. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Door breaks. Pizza Penny ain't making a return next year for the Rogie race.
You're gonna have to execute sauerkraut salt.
Oh no.
Sauerkraut Saul public execution at the 7th inning stretch, probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from Pitt. Penn State, I really got nothing. It's just Central Michigan.
Worrisome. I'll be honest. A little worrisome.
Yeah, 14-14 at one
Three
point.
quarters. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you don't put much offense up against Central Michigan. Sean Clifford tap dancing again in the pocket. Happy feet. Stinks. A lot of another missed field goal. They're missing field goals, extra points. Very sloppy today, so not too encouraged. Michigan's a few weeks away. I wasn't too encouraged by today. I'll be honest.
That's what I think. I think last week was their big week. I think they kind of jumped the gun after the Auburn game, and they kind of probably looked past Central Michigan. We're going to see a lot of it next week, probably with Northwestern. So I think they're not even looking at Northwestern. I know Franklin's big quotes, 1-0 every week, but I think they're already prepping for Michigan. They got that bye week too, I think, between Northwestern and Michigan. So I hate to say it, but I think they're taking these opponents lightly and might sneak up on them. I'm not touching that Northwestern Penn State game at all.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, 1-0, but classic American mistake. You don't underestimate the Chippewas. That's where you went wrong, James. You crack open a history book, learn a little something about American culture and history, and you're going to see there's a few things you don't underestimate, and Chippewas at the top of the list. So, James Franklin, you got to be better than that. Northwestern, not too worried, but Michigan, that's when I'm not gonna touch that game, but yeah,
they were in a close one today with Maryland. Maryland looks good.
yeah, we'll be up there, Beaver State.
We'll probably be up there.
State Maryland game.
Yeah. No, I thought it was Michigan State.
Or Michigan State?
Yeah, that last game
was Michigan State. Yeah.
I thought it was the one I thought we were going on the 12th.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
That was Michigan State. I don't know.
I'm glad you guys brought up Maryland, though. They lost their mascot today, too. Mascot's going down left and right.
He cares shit.
Yeah.
They carted off.
I didn't see him get. Did he get carted off? No, he picked them back up. But there was he was like cheering on the play, and they come from the blind side. Dude just getting blocked right into him, just got crushed. He folded like a lawn chair.
He got pancaked right into the shell, and you see his.
Please tell me. Please tell me he was on his shell stuck too.
No, he went down. He went down face first. Yeah.
Saying, if he went on the back of his shell, like it was like a real turtle and couldn't get up.
Speaking of season-ending injuries, I know we already covered the Steelers, but how about Chuck's doing his RVD impression Thursday?
That's what I'm saying.
The guy,
what was he doing?
Guy tears his quad. He's laying there face down in pain. Chuck's had like 3 seconds. He's like, "No, dude, I'm hitting him with that elbow drop."
He hit him with the Eddie Guerrero frog splash. I thought he was gonna flip him over and give him the 3 amigos after that.
See, I get behind it because, like, when you're taught at a young age, when you're blocking somebody, they go down, you get on top of them. You know, simple as that. I mean,
the Browns are pissed. They sent the film to the league. They're like,
I don't see anything coming of it because it happens every game, you know, and you just don't see it. It just was unfortunate that guy was hurt at that time.
And it was a huge
yeah. So I mean,
they should be thanking their lucky stars it wasn't Sabu or the Sandman putting Anthony Walker down, because you get the 5-star there. Sandman puts you in the ground. He don't care if you tore your quad. You're getting that kendo stick right to the back. You're getting beat on the field there.
Sabu coming out.
Yeah.
and then he just leg drops you with a chair underneath him. I mean, it's game over.
Anthony Walker's lucky there wasn't barbed wire on the field.
He's lucky Kevin Sullivan wasn't there with a Bowflex.
Well, allegedly, that's a whole different ball game.
A whole different new episode.
I can't believe we were going to talk about that. I really wanted to mention that. That was in the moment. It was surreal. I thought I entered like a new dimension. Like the crossover episode of the century where we got like WrestleMania X Thursday Night Football. I was like, Jeff Bezos had something to do with this. He wrote that into the script.
We all looked at each other when it happened. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's down." You know what I mean? Must have. You know what I mean? When
I was
with tackle or something. They showed it.
Swans on.
You know what? I'm putting that moment right up there with when Vince Williams, after DeAndre Hopkins scored the touchdown, and he laid right beside him. That's right up there. It's Steelers meme history. Is that play and that?
If you're rounding out the top 3 too, who can forget whenever was it Willie Gay had the interception?
Yes.
Into the sideline on his knees.
He's over there giving him a hug on his knees. They threw the flag on him.
Yeah.
And then I think it proceeded for 45 to a minute and 15 seconds extra. Yeah. I mean, he's like, I already got 15. Why don't they can't tack anymore on? He's crawling over on his knees.
And what was it last year or 2 years ago? What cornerback was it that I was the only one to see this and no one else did? And I went back and screen recorded it. Some cornerback just mid-play, just standing there, hands on his knees, ready for the play to start. Just vomits. Just standing. I forget who it was.
That had to be Artie Burns' music.
It happens more than you think.
Yeah.
It does.
I remember that though, because I
was like, anyone else see
what
that?
Are you talking about? And Ryan went back.
And then I go on Twitter and no one said anything.
Yeah.
No one else saw it.
Projectile vomited.
That's awesome.
I'm like, go back right now. And like, all you see is just straight.
Tom was probably pissed.
He's picking corn out of his face mask.
Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Can't have Chipotle before the game.
It's terrible. It's not a good look.
No.
Yeah, that's all on college football, even though we track back to projectile vomiting and 5-star frog splashes.
I was like, yeah, no, that's a good segment. Like you look at flips, like the Penn State Purdue game first week. That guy runs a pick 6 back for Purdue. How's it? He just blows chunks everywhere. That's the ultimate alpha move. I just scored on you and puked on the field. What are you gonna do to stop me? You can't. You're not good.
I'll tell you what, I did it one time back in high school. We played Springdale. They made me play both sides of the ball and all the special teams. It was the first time I did it my junior year. And I'm lining up for a kick return. And Miller looks at me. He's like, "You all right?" I go, "Yeah, I'm all right." So it's an experience. I'll tell you that. First and only time I ever puked on a football field. Huh?
Would you say it's a rush?
Yeah. Your endorphins spike. Your adrenaline's still going. You're still coming down off that high, but then it spikes back up, dude. It's like nothing else.
So would that be something you recommend to high school athletes for them to just project up on before any big play?
Pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got to go 3 knuckles deep in your own throat, you got to go 3 knuckles deep in your own throat.
But all I'm saying is, if you're in the trenches and you throw up on the guy opposite on the ball from you, that's mind games, right? That man is not touching you again.
Yeah,
I'd be hot. I would put you in that. Let's just go with that. Like you calling me?
There's no flag for that. There's no chemical warfare flag, is there?
But it's a biochemical
warfare.
That's not in the rule book.
It's not.
Maybe during the Cold War they added that in for who knows what reasons. Well, but now no, you can throw up on somebody. I don't see. What are they going to say? Unsportsmanlike conduct?
We got to go to the Geneva Convention for that one.
Yeah. I don't know. That's he may be onto something. Give the athletes the edge. Like, hey, go out there. We're in a timeout. You got to throw up and then go out there.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to have all them endorphins going, and you're hot and sweaty and you're just exhausted, and you puke, you hit that second wind, and then you know what you do at halftime? You get one of them little orange juices, the orange drink from Turner's. You pound 2 of those and you come out and you puke again. I'm telling you.
Carb spike, sugar spike, kind of.
Yep, little sugar spike.
I think that might be our first reach out.
Is there any truth to the rumor that you threw up on Northgate Center whenever you had the game-winning safety 2-0?
No, because I was playing on the outside. I would have been on the tackle, so no, it wasn't me.
Did you projectile vomit on that play?
I did not. No, the only time was Springdale. I promise you that.
I don't know.
I'd throw up too if I was playing in Springdale.
Yeah,
it was either that or all the goose shit on the field. They almost didn't let us play.
Like Step Brothers is like white and petrified too. You hold this guy down,
No, it was fresh, and they were like, well, "We can't play."
Canadian geese are a pest. They're a pest. They're a nuisance.
They are.
People
also,
don't.
Did you ever see that news article that a guy was arrested for karate kicking geese in the neck? Like, is he a hero or is he a villain? Because geese, people have ruined society because they go to parks. And I'm not saying I'd go kick a geese or a goose. But,
I would. The fuckers are mean.
If that man's successfully able to kick a goose, you can't fine him for that.
It's not the geese in the wild that are the problem. It's the geese that are at these parks, and the 85-year-old women come on out, and they bring their Schwabel's white bread, they tear pieces off, and they throw them at you. Because they see another person coming, and then they're like, oh, there's a person. They're probably going to have bread. But if you don't have any bread, those geese are coming right up to you. And I'm just saying, if a geese catches a size 12.5 Nike to the neck, what's the problem?
There is none.
Tit for tat. You want white bread? I'm getting... You're getting the...
That'll be your nickname, white bread from now on. You go kick a goose in the neck, I'm calling you white bread.
I'm telling you, look it up. It's a legit article.
That's like a Florida man thing. Was it in Florida?
Hold on, let me see.
No, that probably wasn't Florida.
It probably was.
I'll tell you what.
Karate kicking geese in the neck.
We may have our first social media beef. If PETA catches wind of Ryan kicking geese in the neck,
you know what?
On the record, I have not kicked any geese. It was a Florida man also.
That's a lot.
Well, plot twist. It wasn't a Florida man. It was a Florida woman.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, they're just as dangerous.
Even more probably. They're slippery ones.
Don't let them sniff bath salts, eating faces.
Listen, I mean, if you want to retire to Florida, take some bath salts and kick geese. That's America, baby.
There's two different. There's a Florida man and there's a Florida woman.
They're cahoots.
Here's the Florida man. Ex-MMA fighter arrested for head-kicking swans in Florida was practicing karate. It was swans.
This is a goose.
Yeah.
Swan.
No, because they're just trying to make the heart. You know what I mean?
That's bullshit.
Ex-MMA fighter. Could you imagine? He probably caught that one with a roundhouse, and that head probably flew off. He's probably holding it like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
It probably looked like Petey from Dumb and Dumber. He's a duct tape.
If I'm seeing that happen, I'm not making that call. Who's making that call? Who's picking up the phone?
I'm looking the other way. I see an ex-MMA guy kicking swans in the head. I'm walking the other way.
You're gonna catch one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right in the neck.
If you think that man's stopping at a swan, you're in trouble.
That's just the low hanging fruit there. That's the easy pickings. He sees you calling the cops. Forget about it.
That's
just the thing, though. They said the police were called at 9:30 a.m. Who's on at 9:30 a.m. waking up and saying it's time to go kick some swans in the
I'll tell you, someone who wakes up and chooses violence or Kevin Sullivan. Those are the people.
It's not even swans. The witness claimed that he was, I'm not gonna say the man's name, but also kicked a small duck that appeared to be sleeping.
Oh, that man should be locked up.
Yeah, even by Florida standards, that's messed up.
Yeah.
The witness also stated that insert last name here laughed after he noticed their reaction to the incident.
That man's a menace.
Dude, we might have to have a Florida man segment from now on.
I mean, we may have to.
That's electric.
I mean, the man's kicking swans, kicking ducks, sleeping ducks, which that's not even a challenge. And then he's gauging their people's reactions and like noticing the laughs. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing the right thing here," and he's just going to town on these.
He was an MMA fighter. He's probably the ultimate showman, honestly.
He probably is.
Oh my god.
But did we even go on to the Pirates yet?
I'm eating chicken.
They won one game this week. I have no care in the world.
If I could say one thing, I'm very disappointed that they didn't give up the 61st home run to Judge, and they won't be able to give up the 700th home run to Albert Pujols. That's all I'm going to say. I'm upset about it. Other than that,
nope. In baseball, that's about it. Aaron Judge and Albert Pujols. That's about.
And that was talking baseball.
Yeah.
Jaiwan Bay or whatever.
Whatever.
Don't care. I don't have a possible care for the Pirates at this point.
No.
But okay, so my phone was buzzing earlier, and Rio's trying to Snapchat call me, which I don't think he has my phone number. Good thing.
Yeah.
But probably better off that way. He sent me. I was like, okay, this better be important. So I was like, messaging him back. He goes, some man in a Cubs suit is in the jungle gym with all the little kids. That was his big need to know item.
So the man was in
the Cubs probably suit. I don't know.
Like was he dressed as a Charmin bearer?
I don't know. We need to pick
a suit with Chicago Cub logos because I mean I'm saying you gotta lock that guy up either way. Don't get me.
Kids, if you're in the jungle gym with children, this ain't the McDonald's playground. I'm sorry. You can't be trespassing on a jungle gym with little kids.
You go in that jungle gym, Grimace should be whooping your ass.
Yeah. I was just gonna say Grimace is gonna come out of nowhere. Look out, Mayor McCheese. If I would see
another man in a jungle gym, I'd wait for him to come out and let his bystanders would join in as we whip his ass.
No, you know what I'd do? I'd bring that guy from Florida, kick him right in the neck.
Yeah. Dress him up as a swan. Dress him up as a swan and let him chase him through a park.
Yeah, if I ever see a grown-ass man in a jungle gym with kids, it's not going to be pretty.
Unless
it's just not.
You get a free pass if you have a little kid that can't
get if you have kids, sure. But if you're just in there,
dude. It's a joke,
If you're in there being a jag,
Yeah, guess what? We're at a baseball game, and your face is playing catcher mitt to my fist. Okay, that's what's happening.
That's fair. I don't see anything wrong with that.
No.
All right, so we're moving on to Jag of the week. I got a decent one. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Dan, you got it.
Rio, you just got nominated. Calling while we're on pod, while we're recording. You should
snap call.
Yeah. For something stupid like that. What is this? Your eighth nomination? Yeah, by a landslide. Matt Canada. Nah. He was last week's. Rio, just for being Rio. I wasn't able to get to my work picnic yesterday, So I'm sure he did something stupid. And I didn't get to talk to Joe about it. So he might be nominated again next week for me. So I'll let you guys. I'll keep you posted.
He was probably Euro stepping all around that picnic.
Well, they had a cornhole tournament, so I'm sure he was probably out there Euro stepping, throwing cornhole bags. You know, I'm sure of it.
Wouldn't doubt it.
All right. Roberts, you got any?
Mine might be just recent. Billy walking in the room, turning the light off. What are we doing here?
I thought it got dark.
What are we doing? I mean, you know what, Billy, the old man, you get Jag of the week.
Robert's is podcasting from a cave right now.
Osama bin Laden.
But that's mine.
Andrew, who do you got?
I mean, it's not going to win, but until he's gone, Matt Canada is my continual nomination for Jag of the Week, or until he can run a semblance of an offense. I'll leave it at that.
All right, Pa, you're up.
All right, so as you know, I usually get my Jag of the Week from the Dirty Bird Giant Eagle.
Yep.
It's Saturday, so I did go in there and get like a few things today, but I was in there real quick, didn't see anything, so I thought I was scot-free. But this was a few days earlier, so I was actually in the Get-Go, so you know, the little fuel station. First off, everybody and their mother's filling up their gas tank, but I'm waiting in line to get my tank filled, and I'm just like people watching as I usually do in that situation, and I see this man with the squeegee brush for the windshield, you know, the windows, stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, normal scenario. He just absolutely makes a complete 180 from normal human to crazy person and starts washing his entire car with the squeegee. Like, full door action, hood, everything of his car. Like, take 2 seconds to go down to the Kiski car wash and put 25 cents in the damn brush and hose. Like, what are you doing squeegeeing your car? That can't be good for the paint.
It's not.
No.
This guy, he absolutely has some splotches on his car now, and he's my Jag of the Week.
That's a swan kicker. If I know.
And he also had that sticker on his car that's the letter "it" with a guy humping it, so I kind of expected it. Yeah.
You know who else has that?
Rio, probably.
Kevin Sullivan.
So that's my Jag of the Week right there.
We're gonna have to go stake out Northmoreland Park because if you're a goose in the Halakiski area, you're in danger.
That's to be our first merch. It's gonna have a shirt that says "Save Our Swans" on it.
Oh man.
All right. Random athlete. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So today I'm sitting there watching the Pitt game. On the way home, I was third quarter. I was thinking, you know, Slovis, he really doesn't throw the ball. You know what I mean? You know, they're starting to come a run-heavy offense here. Throw when he has to. And I was thinking back to maybe probably one of my favorite Pitt quarterbacks in Bill Stahl.
Oh, Jesus. I almost dropped a Bill Stahl reference earlier when Andrew said the Pittsburgh Power.
Yeah.
I mean, that was prime years for my liking of Pitt. Bill Stahl, my random Pittsburgh athlete of the week.
Love it.
Who's next?
I'll go. I'll go. Yeah.
Drew.
We're talking about Georgia Tech next week, and I brought up Calvin Johnson. I'm thinking Georgia Tech, former Pittsburgh Steeler running back, Jonathan Dwyer. I don't know if anybody remembers him, but Jonathan Dwyer, random Pittsburgh athlete of the week, solid running back, big dude. He just popped into my head, so I was like, all right, man, you're getting a shout out in the last segment, Jonathan Dwyer.
Dan, me or you?
You go ahead. I got to build up for mine.
Oh, baby, hitting cleanup.
I never prepare for this. I go off the top of my head. So if I said this name before, just let me know. But I'm going with Mr. Statue of Liberty himself, Dennis Dixon.
I like it.
Yeah.
He
pops in my head.
He was a Heisman hopeful there in Oregon.
Yeah.
And then he blew out his knee. Tore shit. Yeah.
Anytime I see someone limping, like I saw some lady limping down the sidewalk there. Oh, she tore her shit. The first thing I think of.
my knee's been killing me. And I told my buddy at work, I was like, I think I tore my shit. So thanks for that.
Quite possibly.
So I should have started when I was guest on the pod many pods ago with this random athlete. It is my favorite Pittsburgh athlete of all time. With that being said, the Penn started training camp. Training camp opened up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with a Pittsburgh Penguin. Born February 15th, 1972. Still playing. He's still currently playing. I know it's over there in the Czech Republic. Hailing from Kladno, Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia. Jaromír Jágr, number 68. I loved Jágr. Had the flow going, the mullet going. Just, he could stick in on a phone booth, those toe drags. I mean, phenomenal. Chef's kiss. It's phenomenal. He wore the C on the Robo Penguin jerseys. Love Jaromír Jágr. He broke my heart when he was going to come back and ended up going to Philly. But he just holds a special place in my heart. I mean, I love Jaromír Jágr, my random Pittsburgh athlete.
And just an elite name.
It is. It is.
Yeah, no. You can't. I'm going to say it right now. I'm not even putting the pool up this week. You can't top Jaromír Jágr. Sorry, Jonathan Dwyer. Sorry, Dennis Dixon. Sorry, Billy Stahl. You ain't touching Jaromír Jágr. No contest. I'm throwing the white towel in. I'm calling it.
I mean, number 2 all time in points. I mean, he's a stud, and like I said, he's still playing. So, at the age of 50. So,
yeah. Now I don't know if you saw a couple years ago, but he was, he's obviously an older man. He's in bed with a younger woman. She was trying to blackmail him, saying, He didn't give a shit. He's like, release the pictures.
Her boyfriend was on his U18 team. So. Yeah,
but he don't care. That's just that's alpha material right there. He's like
a stud
there. Yeah,
and he always said he didn't have a second love other than hockey, because if he did, he wouldn't be playing right now. He didn't have a family or nothing. His first love was hockey. He didn't fall in love with anything else except maybe smashing Strange, which is fine.
It's 20 stud. You can't shame that.
Yeah.
Well.
All right, boys. Anything else?
Yes, I do have one more tidbit. I recently hit affiliate on Twitch last week. I'm going to keep streaming. So if you guys want to pop in, I do appreciate all the support and stuff. And I love doing this, like I say, every week. And I'm going to continue to say it. I love doing this. I like the little heated argument we had today, Andrew. It was fun. It's a blast.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been 10 episodes now. Time's flying, but no, this is really fun to do. Like we said, we didn't care if anyone was listening to it or not. It's just good to get on here, BS about sports, joke around. I mean, we went from talking seriously about the Steelers to Chuck's flopping down on a dude. Some guy in Florida kicking swans in the neck. I mean, if you want to find another podcast that can deliver you that kind of just cohesive storytelling throughout an episode, good luck finding one. Good luck.
The year from the Steelers to the Swans kicked him in the neck.
Seamless transition. Seamless.
Roberts, any final thoughts, buddy?
Nope. Boys, stay tuned to the socials. We might have some guest appearances on the socials this weekend. The Pitt game. But other than that, thanks everybody for listening. I always love you guys.
Episode 10. Thanks everyone for listening. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever.
Namaste.
You haven't found it by now, sure. But thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. So, episode 11 coming next Sunday. We'll be back. Saturday night special. We out.